This is a problem that I think everyone watching can probably relate to, Sean. You got a sock, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like this
Whoa.
great
Ostrich?
emu sock that my
Emu.
sister gave me.
Like that
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Here's the problem. I only got one of them. Why? Because I lost the other one. Still going to hang on to that one for 10 years, though. Turns out this problem is bigger than we know.
Yeah. Everyone has a deal with this at one time or another. The mismatched sock quandary, big issue. Victoria Sophia, she's here. She's going to give us some ideas on what to do with our mismatched socks. Victoria has a few of her own. How are you?
Just a couple. But the good news for you guys, we lose about 15 socks a year. So over our lifetime, that's about 1,000 socks. It's not just, a couple that, the emu sock that you have is not going to be the only one that you lose.
True.
Do our dryers have a penchant for one sock at a time? Like, what's the deal? Do we know where these socks go? Is there an underworld?
Okay, let's be honest. I had to actually find out where they go, and it's not as fun as we think. It's kind of like the lint drawer that you open up. They're getting stuck in there. So
Who knew? I had no idea.
My gosh.
if you
Stuck
open
in
that
the
up,
lint.
sometimes you'll find one of the socks in there. Yeah.
Wow. Okay. All right. So then
But
we have this one leftover sock now. Let's find some good things to do with them. First thing you have,
Okay.
when it gets a little bit colder outside, fogged up windows, big issue.
fogged up windows, you can take a sock, put some silica kitty litter into a sock. I just happen to have a little kitty sock to use for this one.
What?
And then you sew it up, and then you throw it onto your dashboard. As soon as you do that, you don't have to worry about any of the moisture anymore. It gets absorbed overnight. So you can leave it in your car, and it's unscented, so you don't have to worry about anything. And it's the perfect way to get rid of those fogged up windows in your car.
Wow.
Oh man, this is just so
Yeah.
practical. I know you have some more tips. Some can save money on our heating and cooling bill.
Okay, so this is a kind of the greatest thing that I saw as a youth. If you get some of that polyester fill that's kind of in teddy bears, you can use one of the boot socks. So that emu sock looks kind of like the size of a boot sock.
Yeah,
You
big
can
one.
use that to fill in. So if you have a door,
I
you
was
can put it on
just
the base
thinking
so
of
that the
these.
drafts
Yes.
don't come in.
Oh my
Or if on the
gosh.
window, your electricity, so like your air conditioner won't have the air escaping if you have like a little crack in your window or at the bottom base of your door. So depending on which sock that you have, you can do that, and that's an option right there, so that your heating and cooling bills aren't really high. And that's the problem. You were able to use the sock to help save money in your home now.
Insulate. I
You know
like that.
what's
That's good.
It's cracking me up, Sean, because I could have just used one of those to put the barrier between my office with all the smell coming out from the stain.
Oh
So
yeah.
you're like creating your own little barriers. Brilliant. All right, I
She
know you
stained
have
it
more,
built in one of
Victoria.
her offices. Okay, so
So
how about this? Listen, the dryer, giveth the dryer, taketh away. It took away a sock, but maybe we can use that other sock for good for that dryer.
yes, we can. So this is a tennis ball. It's about $3 for a couple of them. Get that. Put a sock. If you have a wool sock, you just put a stitch over it and make sure that you can use that, because it's usually about $15 for these wool eco-friendly dryer balls that they have to make your clothes more fluffy and softer. But you can do that
Yep.
yourself just with that. And if you don't have a wool sock, you can still use any sock that you might have in your home to do that as well.
Nice.
And it's just by cutting off the toe off the sock. That's how you're able to do this. So it's simple, and it's making sure that you can get fluffy clothing. Yeah.
There's something so
It's
fulfilling
fun.
about this because it's like you're coming up with these practical uses. I just bought those dryer balls off Amazon, and you're right, they go for about $15. Amazing. All
Yeah.
right, what else do you have? I heard there's something that can actually
Okay.
take away headaches.
Okay, so you fill a sock with some uncooked rice. You might have bought a lot for your pantry, back in March.
Yeah.
And put an unfilled sock full of rice. So the top again, please make sure you seal it. Put it in your microwave for about a minute and a half. If that's not good enough, you can put another half a minute, and it'll be like a hot compress. And if you need, maybe some eucalyptus oil or some peppermint oil, it's great for if you have a sore muscle or if you have a migraine, you put it on here.
Yeah.
It's just really soothing. It's like a self-care moment because of a mismatched sock.
There we go. You know what? The one sock that went away caused the headache, and the other one can take it away, which is good.
Yeah, absolutely.
Stinky feet. Now, this is not something I suffer from.
Ooh,
I have very
Sean.
fresh
Of
smelling.
course not. Of course.
However, for those of us who have
actually-
stanky feet, like some people,
Yeah, it's true, Victoria. He's actually made me smell his feet on the show, and my co-host
Good.
does have great smelling feet. But for those who don't,
For those who don't, you can make sure that your sneakers or your shoes smell better. All you do is take the shoe that you want and overnight take the mismatched sock, fill it with, some of baking soda, just a cup of the baking soda that you have at
Mm.
home already. And if you have any of those twist ties that might be on like a bread loaf or a rubber band in the house, you just put that on it. So you can't really seal it with a stitch. So anything that I've been sewing, you can't do in this case. And then you just place them here overnight. And then when you wake up in the next morning, your shoes will smell so much better because it's like an odor eater, a DIY odor eater. It's perfect.
Smart.
Man, I
You
have
just
to
need
say that's
40
a
of
big
those for your office.
yeah. That's a big Nike, by the way. How exciting is this, Victoria? You are full of so many great ideas coming to us today from Manhattan. Just love that you're sharing with us in Vegas. And people can go to your website to see more
Yeah, they
tips
can
like
go to
that.
the website and see more tips and just interact with me on Instagram.
Victoria, you are awesome. It's great having you.
Thanks so much, guys.
All right.
Thank you.
HappilyEverVictoria.com if you want to follow her. Also, make sure you follow her on Instagram as well. Link on the website.